Imagine a time when farming relied solely on horses and manual labor. Then, machines changed everything. The early tractors we're about to explore didn't just make farming easier, they revolutionized it forever. From the groundbreaking Fordson Model F to the legendary Waterloo Boy, these machines reshaped agriculture in ways few realize. Each of these tractors played a crucial role in shaping agriculture as we know it. But what made them special? Let's dive into the details of each one. 1. Fordson Model F, 1917 to 1928. The tractor that changed everything. But it was the Fordson Model F that was a revolution. The pre-Fordson tractor was expensive and massive, built for the larger farms. Henry Ford, with one stroke of genius, converted all that by making the first mass-produced tractor, facilitating mechanized farming to be used in small and medium farms. Built with a 4.1-liter, four-cylinder engine, delivering 20 horsepower, the Fordson Model F was sufficiently strong to replace horse-drawn plows and had a pull of 10 horsepower, allowing it to pull heavier loads than animals. And 3 forward gears and 1 reverse meant more control over the speed and efficiency to farmers. The compact design is one of the biggest advantages that comes with the Fordson. At 2,800 pounds and an 11.6-inch ground clearance, it could work rough farms better than many larger machines. With a massive fuel tank of 79.5 liters, it could last longer than most daily chores without constant refueling. That was the strength of this machinery as well as many other simple machines, as they came into farms daily. But then Ford made magic with every one of these Fordsons, the low-cost point. Ford built his production lines to reduce costs and thus make tractors available, and available in plenty, to farmers than ever before. It is the one innovation that transformed myriad numbers of farmers into mechanized labor systems, increasing production and forever changing farming. This created the fact of the matter that, by 1928, production of the Fordson Model F was no longer viable. He set the pace, and it was safe to say that the Fordson Model F heralded the modern-day equipment in farming. It showed that tractors belong to every farm, from the very wealthy to very poor farmers in between. 2. Waterloo Boy, 1917 to 1924. John Deere's first step into tractors. Almost before the name John Deere became synonymous with tractors, it made a bold decision by buying the Waterloo Gasoline Engine Company in 1918, giving it control over making the Waterloo Boy, the first tractor of any kind produced by John Deere, and the machine instrumental in the transition to mechanized farming from animal labor. The Waterloo Boy had a 7.6-liter, 2-cylinder engine, producing 750 revolutions per minute, running on cheaper and more abundantly available kerosene when compared to gasoline. It wasn't very fast but was rugged and reliable, good for long hours in the field. It had a large fuel tank that stood out. It had a big 75.7-liter main fuel tank and a 3.8-liter auxiliary tank, so farmers could work long hours without having to stop for fuel. Weighing 6,183 pounds, the tractor was heavier than previous tractors, and that weight gave it stability and traction in very rough farmland. It offered 2 forward and 1 reverse gear, allowing greater flexibility for farmers to maneuver their implements in easier operations than some earlier models. Most importantly, the Waterloo Boy was known for its longevity, standing up to heavy tasks with minimal breakdowns. This tractor was not just a machine anymore. It was the start of John Deere's reign in the tractor industry. The Waterloo Boy laid the basis for all subsequent green and yellow machines, establishing mechanized farming as the future. 3. Farmall Regular, 1924 to 1932. Revolutionizing row crop farming. In the 1920s, tractors were just big, cumbersome machines for plowing tasks. But the Farmall Regular was the game changer, heralding the conception of row crop agriculture as it featured an innovative design aimed at row crop farming. This was a remarkable feat, as farmers now would no longer depend on horses or numerous specialized tractors, but would use just one machine for cultivating, plowing, and harvesting. The Farmall Regular was powered by a 3.6-liter, 4-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine that produced 13.27 horsepower drawbar power. Although not the most powerful tractor, its lightweight design enabled farmers to utilize it in the most delicate tasks. The Farmall regular engine had 3 forward speeds and 1 reverse speed for better speed control in the fields. Another well-known feature was the rear PTO system that allowed farmers to attach and use various implements. As adaptation into agriculture has rarely been paid so much attention before, one tractor replaced several machines for planting, cultivating, and harvesting, an incredible step forward in the direction of farming efficiency. Weighing 1,814 kilograms, the Farmall Regular was compact but effective enough to maneuver along crop rows without injuring the plants. When combined with these features of efficiency, it went a long way towards saving time and labor costs for farmers and increasing productivity. The Farmall Regular proved a stepping stone between decreasing human and animal effort in farming and increasing cost effectiveness and efficiency by replacing human and animal labor with a machine. This one of the most important tractors in history laid the foundation for modern row crop tractors and solidified International Harvester's position as an important player in our industry. Nanga Massey Harris GP, 1930 to 1936, a trailblazer in tractor innovation. Massey Harris GP was conceived as an entry of Massey Harris to the range of tractors. The 3,000 made units, however, were not commercial blockbusters, but in history made a great difference in innovations in the design of modern tractors. The engine at its heart was a 3.7-liter, 4-cylinder Hercules gasoline engine driving 24.84 horsepower belt power. The power increase this provided over other tractors at the time allowed for more efficiency in meeting demanding field tasks. But this model also came with a 3-speed forward transmission and 1 gear in reverse, giving added control on terrains and jobs. This tractor had one of the most novel features incorporated into the design: 4-wheel drive, 4WD, which was quite uncommon in tractors then. The GP was rendered extremely capable on uneven ground as it provided superior traction and positional stability when compared to its competitors. Farmers working in uneven or wet fields found this particularly helpful as it prevented getting stuck or out of control. The Massey Harris GP was compact, practical, and to the point. It was about 119 inches long and weighed approximately 3,900 pounds. While not easily lifted, it was still reasonably mobile. This combination of size and power made it one of the most versatile tractors of its time. While it was a limited production run and thus never widely adopted, the GP's engineering advances were with time to influence many later Massey Harris products. That 4-wheel drive ability and the focus on better traction were just the first step toward modern developments in tractors, making this a major contributor to the change in farm machinery. 5. Allis-Chalmers Model B, 1938 to 1957. The game changer for small farms. Allis-Chalmers Model B was one of the most important tractors of the time, designed specifically to bring mechanization to small-scale farms. Before the introduction of this machine, most smallholder farmers could not afford tractors, and instead, they were very dependent on animal power. The Model B, with its low price, lightweight, and high efficiency, made sure that mechanized farming extended to the grassroots level. The engine was a 2.1-liter, 4-cylinder gasoline, providing 19.51 horsepower at the drawbar and 22.25 horsepower at the belt. That was a real credit for a very compact tractor, which was able to accomplish all the requirements on the farm: plowing, harrowing, and pulling implements. It came equipped with a 3-speed forward and 1 reverse gear transmission to keep up with different terrains and workloads. One key selling point was that it was small and very light in weight, weighing just 934 kilograms. Consequently, heavier tractors found soft soil challenging, but this model was quite easy to maneuver in smaller fields because of its comparatively lighter weight. Farmers also had the option of adjustable wheel width, 133 to 157 centimeters, thereby catering to their specific needs, especially in row crop farming. Fuel efficiency and low maintenance were other features that made it economical for the farmers over the years. Another advantage of the Model B was that it was easy to afford, yet it was made to last, with many units still operational decades later, providing evidence of their durability and reliability. The Allis-Chalmers Model B had lasting effects. Model B pushed farmers working small plots into mechanized farming, causing a big rise in productivity while carrying out less manual labor. Besides, the design turned out to be very successful, influencing the design of tractors thereafter. Thus, it secured itself as one of the most significant farm machines of the 20th century. 6. Minneapolis Moline UDLX Comfort Tractor, 1938 to 1941. A marvelous machine was the Minneapolis Moline UDLX Comfort Tractor, as it uniquely incorporated farm and transport. Untraditional in its design as a tractor, it focused on farmers with an enclosed cab, protecting them from the harshness of varying weather, dust, and engine noise. An idea that was truly far ahead of the time. It delivered its power to the belt with an exceptionally high work rate for its time, namely 42 horsepower. Powered by an engine of 4.3 liters, four-cylinder gasoline, the tractor was a true workhorse for the day. That, in combination with a 6-speed transmission, allowed the tractor to travel at speeds of 40 miles per hour, an amazing feat for any tractor back then. This allowed the farmers, rather limited to just field work, to haul heavy equipment and commute down the road without the necessity of having a separate truck for such purposes. Another one was that it was a dual-purpose machine. Headlights, speedometer, heater, and radio were some of the unique features contributing to comfort unheard of in farming equipment during that time. Ergonomically better and reducing fatigue, the enclosed cab nonetheless imparted a higher price to buy for the tractor over competitors. Therefore, with that high price and the fact that most farmers did not want any sort of luxury tractor, only an estimated 150 were produced, securing this tractor as one of the rarest and most collectible ones. Despite its commercial failure, however, the UDLX provided valuable lessons in tractor design that ensured comfort and practicality would not be mutually exclusive. 7. Ferguson TE20, 1946 to 1956. Within tractors, Ferguson TE20 is termed unnaturally Little Gray Fergie. Factory made by the company of Harry Ferguson, this machine transformed farmers' ways of working by revolutionizing innovations that still apply in younger modern tractors. The TE20 carried at its heart a powerful thrust and performance offering from its 2.1-liter, four-cylinder petrol engine, which generated 20 horsepower, an admirable blend for small farms. It was compact, lightweight, and multi-purpose, thus ideal for farmers all around the world. The major transformation was the three-point hitch. The system of connectable devices like plows and seeders mounted directly onto the tractor that had been innovated changed completely. Unlike older bases by chains or even rigid mounts, a three-point hitch allows better control, stability, and weight distributions within the system. Not surprisingly, it was so successful that it became the standard in industries, and its legacy lives on in the tractors of today. Another boost for TE20s and many other such models is that of cheap and easy maintenance. Their mechanical designs were such that a farmer could easily and quickly do repairs himself, which would minimize downtime and expenses. It has been strong, reliable, and flexible, and some models are still in service today. Out of more than 500,000, the Ferguson TE20, possibly the most widely used tractor of its time, sold around the world. This almost single-handedly mechanized farming in developing nations, making farming easier and more productive. It was a very small tractor, but with enormous importance. It did prove at even the smallest level that innovation, affordability, and practicality could go hand in hand. 8. John Deere Model R, 1949 to 1954. This John Deere Model R was not only a revolutionary tractor in agricultural history, but also the first ever diesel-powered tractor by John Deere. This was the turning point of a major shift toward fuel efficiency along with power, making the tractor a critical consideration for large farming lands. One important characteristic of the Model R was a 6.8-liter two-cylinder diesel engine that produced 45 horsepower at the drawbar. Compared with previous gas-powered types, this diesel engine reduced consumption and gave farmers longer working time before the need to refuel from a long day of accomplishment. Another interesting feature of the Model R was the basis of the live PTO power takeoff, allowing an implement to be operated even while the tractor was not moving. Thus, it has potential versatility, enabling the farmer to apply such implements as balers, combines, and mowers in one smooth-running operation. In addition, the tractor comes with a 6-speed gearbox, which gives a handle for operators to have flexible maneuvering power under any given field condition. Its heavy-duty dimension, 7,600 pounds, made this tractor ease over tough, heavy plowing, deep plowing, and other grueling jobs. But despite being built for major farms, Model R was built to last. Many such units are still found in operation today. Power, durability, and efficiency all contribute to the fact that this was one of the greatest successes for John Deere, setting the stage for all future diesel tractors. 9. Lanz Bulldog, 1921 to 1960. Lanz Bulldog constitutes one of the most emblematic and monumental tractors in Europe, with a production figure exceeding 220,000 units from 1921 to 1960. Produced by Heinrich Lanz AG in Germany, this tractor became iconic for its robustness and simplicity, being used widely for agricultural, construction, and even military purposes. The differentiator of the Lanz Bulldog was its hot bulb single-cylinder engine that had a swept volume capacity varying from 4.7 liters in the older models to 10.3 liters in the later ones. These engines were virtually import-proof and could operate on any type of fuel, including kerosene, diesel, and even crude oil. Due to this, the Bulldog was quite convenient in rural areas with sporadic access to refined fuels. With its horizontal piston design, Lanz Bulldog differed greatly from the conventional tractors of the day in that it had hardly any moving parts to speak of. Very easy to maintain and repair, this design would thus account for the tractor's longevity, with many units still in use today. The massive flywheel was another major plus, which enhanced the steadiness of its output power. Even with a single cylinder, the engine set forth thick torque ideal for doing heavy plowing, towing, and industrial-type work. Its slow, chug-chugging engine became the trademark sound that made this one of the most widely recognized tractors ever made. Its ruggedness and reliability made it popular throughout Europe, Australia, and South America, having been a major player in the agricultural mechanization process. Due to their significance in history and unique design, restored Lanz Bulldogs have become valuable collector items, which find their display on vintage tractor shows around the world. 10. Porsche Diesel AP 22, 1956 to 1963. Porsche Diesel's AP22 is probably one of the rarest and most collectible tractors ever made in history because of its unique Porsche engineering workmanship and elegant yet functional design. The AP22 was designed to be efficient, reliable, and uncomplicated for the user, and that earned it its unique place on the farmer's preferred tractor for much of Europe, compared with many others whose strengths only lie in brute horsepower. At the heart of this engine was a 2-cylinder, air-cooled diesel engine with an output of about 22 horsepower. It did away with the radiator. The coolant resulted in rather low maintenance and improved fuel economy, and therefore made it an ideal piece of equipment for farmers searching for, first and foremost, a simple, effective machine. The AP22 was fitted with a 4-speed gearbox, which also allowed for better operation of the various farming activities. The hydraulic lift system also made it easy for a farmer to operate attachments, increasing productivity. However, even though it was quite practical and could withstand endurance trials, the Porsche Diesel AP22 was produced in limited batches, which means that it is now a collector's item. It is highly coveted considering its Porsche branding, unique engineering, and widespread appeal among vintage tractor enthusiasts all over the world. These historic tractors didn't just change farming, they shaped entire industries. From the rugged Lanz Bulldog to the game-changing Fordson Model F, each one left a lasting legacy. Which tractor impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments.